You're welcome to our Press TV. My name is Isaac. This week, I'm trying to make things different. We appreciating coaches this week. So I have 5 coaches to appreciate this week. Today we start with the guy who just won the title, a league title, Rhulani Mokwena. I think, man, these coaches doesn't get their flowers, pretty well, especially Rhulani Mokwena in South African football. I think maybe sometimes he comes out as arrogant, and most of people don't really, appreciate his work, and they don't know how to separate their feelings from the person he is, and his work, man. And so today I'm just going to share a few pointers about Rhulani Mokwena and what he managed to achieve and what wonderful season he had. So from my little research, Rhulani Mokwena is a good coach. I have witnessed him in different phases of his coaching career, and I think all of us are, and we've been privileged to share this journey with him. He went and maybe introduced to us as an assistant to Peter Musimang, and he was part of those co-coaching teams with Mangoba Mniti and Steve Compel. I think all the coaches from Peter Musimani with him, Rhulani Mokwena and Mangoba Mniti, they did a wonderful job. And I think that development and that foundation they gave Mamelodi Sundowns from that time and until now, they still stuck through that that foundation and gave the team a balance. And at time of Peter Musimani, they cemented where they want to go in years, and I think now it's still showing because of the dominance in the league. So Rhulani Mokwena now is the head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. He had a little bit of bumps along the road, as many people are in life. He went to Orlando Pirates, played wonderful football, but one thing he didn't he didn't really portray was his tactics very well, especially in defense. He was very well in playing dynamic football, very skillful. Orlando Pirates team at that time, he liked to fold. Then they did real well, but he wasn't really maintaining the scorecards very well, and he was losing most of the games, and he was loaned, funny enough, to Chippa United, and he went to Chippa United. He coached, and Coach Peter Musimani said, "I come back home, and the trophies are at Mamelodi Sundowns," and he went back to Mamelodi Sundowns, and he learned, and I think his outing to Orlando Pirates and Chippa United molded him, molded the person and molded the character of Rhulani Mokwena and the coach he became, these recent days. So Rhulani Mokwena is a young coach in our league, 37 years of age, very young. Most of the time we the coaches are in their 40s, late 40s and 50s and 60s. I think at his young age, he really didn't, he really did his best to to sober up the knowledge from the people he was learning from, and I think right now it's paying off, right? It's paying off very well. So he was once at Platinum Stars, and I think what in development he was with Kevin Johnson. So the stature of Kevin Johnson and the team they had at that time at Platinum Stars, they really they were a really good team, and I think he imparted the knowledge very well. I soaked up knowledge very well from people he was learning from. So Rhulani, this season he came close to make an invincible team. He was just beaten at the last game of the season, losing 1-0 from Cape Town City, and he went back-to-back seasons. He went semi-final. He went to lose a semi-final against Wydad last season. He went to lose a semi-final again, CAF semi-final, to be specific, again to what's the team from Morocco. And maybe it's a lesson learned, man. Maybe if next season he can go and give his last shot, maybe he can go and go to the final. He prefers to play 4-4-3 formation, and he stick to that Mamelodi Sundowns culture of Susha and Piano, tiki taka, and he just like tweaked his football and Manuel Stalno's culture with trends of Pep Guardiola. He plays most of the time three center backs. He plays Mudiva as a full back, but then he comes in as an eight. And Kuriso Mudau just run that that right flank like up and down, man, like crazy, man. And I think for me, as a style of his style of play, shape Mamelodi Sundowns dominance, and I think if he's still there and he's still calling the shot as a head coach, I think they'll dominate maybe 4 3 seasons to come. Even I think now that the teams are aware and are very gunning for Mamelodi Sundowns' head, but I think they'll go and do well in his leadership. His players development. He introduced Mabena this season from DDC. He very developed that boy just to come and taste the top flight football. And that boy Mabena, I think he has done very well for himself. But I think he has way more years ahead of him to learn. And in the leadership of Rhulani Mokwena, I think he'll do very well. And he really, for me, I think he developed like Kulisomuda was very good player. He was not playing as a right back at the time in Black Leopards. He was playing more like a winger, a right wing. But he came to Mamelodi Sundowns, and I think he is the most player that he developed to his full potential. Kuriza Muda right now, man, he can attack, he can defend, and in 1-1-1 or V1 situation, not much of any players can take him on. Maybe once, but then like you can't beat him twice. That's his, I think, most improved player. If I can say if from his starting off coaching, he's the most improved player. Trends. I think Rhulani Mokwena take the trends from Pep Guardiola. He really admired the guy. He really studied the guy very well. I think it's evident from his style of play. So I think Rhulani Mokwena he takes his style and try to tweak it with his passing patterns and just to put a little twist from the tactics, because you have the like of Mushishi who can carry the ball very well. You have the like of Mokwena who can dictate the tempo at the middle of the park. So I think they are very similar according to me, because he can play Granky and Vala and Rivaldo Gutierrez as a three centre backs, and then play Mudi and Mudau as a full backs, And I think Mudiwa gives him a good great deal in that side. He can take in and play as a eight. He can score goals, and can also join in and from that middle field just to combine those passes with the likes of Alende and Mokwena, right? So the team development, he developed his team from from position based point of view. They like to detect the tempo. He likes to carry the ball. He likes to defend with the ball. And when I say he defends with the ball, the overlay when the ball is on the right, they overlay the right side. So mostly when they overload the right side and when they lose the position, they can retrieve the position very quickly because of the number of the players are overloading that side. So they're very fancy in technical, that in that aspect. So very well adaptable team in that tactical space. Very fancy on the eye and very fancy on a tactical adaptation. And his players, if he signed any player, he really look for one guy who can match his tactical adaptable team, and he managed to at least to sign the likes of Allende, the like of Mendieta. I think one of his best signing for me is Lucas Ribeiro, who can play 1-2-1-2, can cut in, can score goals. So I think for me, I think this isn't done very well. I think I need to give him his flowers. Rhulani Mokwena stood up and he really dominated the league this season. He really fancied his style and his tactics, and really install this winning mentality to his players. His players fight for him, and as he fights for them also. So I think it's going to be a good coach. I think he just have to just to go and study and upgrade his licenses. But for all, Rhulani Mokwena is a great coach, and I hope all the best for him. I hope he will do very well in future. So yeah, man, that's my flowers to Rhulani Mokwena, and I hope he's going to do very good jobs in the future, and I hope he can take on Africa soon, man. This has been our Press TV. Thank you for joining me.